Good morning, world. I say world because, we are online, worldwide on the web. Welcome to another edition of the Great Green Home Show. We hope everyone is having a great, dry, and warm weekend so far. I kind of doubt it. But anyway, we'd like to thank everyone who's tuned in today, as well as those of you who are listening online at WILM.com. As always, our goal is to inform and entertain as we try to give you the latest information available regarding all things green. We'll talk about how you can reduce your carbon footprint, save some energy, and most importantly, save you some money.
I'm up for that.
Today's show, as always, is about something green. Today's something green happens to be the greens themselves. And by that I mean vegetables, locally grown produce, and other locally produced foods. Well, our guest today knows all about growing locally, eating locally, and selling locally. I'm Doug Hunt. Next to me is my co-host, Paul Hughes. Good morning, Paul. How was your week?
Good morning. Actually, very wet.
Wet
but
week.
Good.
Yes.
Good. My trees are actually still growing. So's my grass.
I've got herbs outside that are still flourishing.
Better let them in.
So, yeah. It's a funny guy.
All right. Where are we going?
Right here, where it
Okay.
says Paul.
Oh, what do we got going on? Oh, okay. This week, we're going to say it one more time. As you know, the big ticket these days is a big green ticket. And, of course, the big news is the Green Expo. Let's see. It's on March 29th at the Chase Riverfront. We probably won't be able to say that.
2008.
2008.
Somebody's paying attention.
Right. Not this March, last March.
Right.
Right. It's next. We want those people in the front row. We want everyone to put this on their calendar. We'll probably be talking a lot about it for the next 4 months, so I'll be brief. We have some celebrity guests, which we don't know yet, and we're supposed to keep those a secret for a while. We have great local and regional musicians. I've got some great musicians coming up from D.C. that are going to actually host the show, the musical part of the show.
Awesome.
So they're going to be fun.
Our musical MCs.
Yep, a lot of green entrepreneurs, business, educational tables. Right now I know we have some organic wines that are coming, organic beers. That's going to be a nice section.
Wines or winers?
Local foods. We got H.T. Haskell here from SIW Vegetables today. Say hi, H.
How you doing, Paul?
Good. And they're going to be there with a lot of other local produce people, and we're going to talk all about why that makes sense for people to buy locally, why it makes great sense to buy locally. We're talking organic clothing, educational tables, great door prizes. That's just going to be the best event I think that we're going to see come in the spring. Let's see. And then to talk about last week's rant, I want to talk about less about the demand for oil and being able to keep up with the prices.
Last week you mentioned that if we all kind of chipped in and watched our gas consumption, the prices would go down, but apparently that didn't last long.
Nope. I got to throw that. Well, that didn't last long, did it? We got to throw that out the window. The price of the barrel oil, I think, is very close to 100, but it started to drop back. But we're going to go up to about 320.
320 a barrel?
320 a gallon is what they're predicting before it comes
gotcha.
back. But thank you for scaring everybody.
I got you.
Maybe that'll wake them up. That's good. So although things seem a little bleak this week, the stock market's down, foreclosures are up, Doug's out of Enzyte, and as that may be a relief for the rest of us, you didn't read this, did you? You let that go.
I did.
You
I let it
go.
I let it go.
Unbelievable.
I let it go because most of the people aren't going to know what Enzyte is. Of course, now that we're talking about it, they're going to go, Enzyte, that's that stupid commercial on television.
And they found out those guys are putting the legal prescription stuff in it. So they found
really?
that. Yeah, they found that out this week. They started doing tests on it. There's nothing in Enzyte. For those of you spending thousands of dollars there, you might as well go ahead and buy the Viagra because that's what's making it work. They finally got caught. I knew it. I
don't know anybody who actually uses Enzyte. Aside from me, of course.
Of course. And of course, we're talking about conserving energy, and that falls right into categories. So, unless of course you look at good things that happened in terms of renewable energy, great things this week are Blue Water Wind continues to negotiate and adjust their price. They're getting a lot of support from many local groups on their bid in Delaware and still alive. They have also started negotiating the process in the state of Maryland for 150 wind turbines off Ocean City, Maryland. So that means a proposed almost 300 large wind turbines off our coast, enough power to power at least 300,000 homes in our area. That's just to start with, okay? If they do come up with an agreement with the state of Delaware, the wind farm could be finished as early as 2012 and 2014, so we want to urge citizens to keep writing your congressmen, your senators, and your local politicians. I think the greatest thing out of this is that Blue Water Wind has said that they will tighten up their bid a bit and close down their open-ended costs. So we do see more negotiation. This isn't dead, and the state of Maryland is now involved in their own negotiations with Blue Water. So this is moving forward, people.
There was an article on the front page of Thursday's News Journal that mentions that Minner is now behind making sure this thing happens.
Well, that's good. I think people want it, and I think what we have to do is switch some subsidies. So we're going to talk about that later, but switch some of these oil, coal, and gas subsidies over. All right, Doug, what do we got next?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Clear Channel Radio announced the first Great Green Expo right here in Delaware. Over 125 green companies, research groups, activists, engineers, car manufacturers, educators, students, scientists, builders, architects, homeowners, cats and dogs living together, total anarchy. I'm sorry, went away for a second.
Ooh, Ghostbusters.
Anyway, you get the point.
Nice.
Think about it. If we'd mentioned anything green, anything in the state of Delaware 5 years ago, we probably could have organized, like 2 pairs of organic underwear, a big wheel for transportation, and a magnifying glass to concentrate the sun for solar power.
Ooh, that would have been great.
My, how things have changed in such a short period of time. But the point is, things are moving along, and we need to move along with them.
Congress is working on an energy bill that could change the way our planet is heating and becomes polluted. So I urge you to write your congressmen and your senators as quickly as you can. Do not delay on this. The bill is sitting on their desks as we speak. Write immediately to Castle, Biden, Carper. If you're in Maryland, your local representative. Same with PA. Are you guys in PAH?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, just over the border. Who's your representative there?
Chris Ross.
Okay, so you want to write them immediately about endorsing the renewable part of the energy bill, which is a part that could be left off if we don't do something about it. All right, so let's see. See, you really do have the power to change things, and it only takes a few seconds. I know personally from having talked to our representatives in Washington, and it only takes 20 handwritten letters to get them to respond and show up at a meeting. That's their number. So if we just got 20 people to write about this, it would get them aware.
Is that an official
number? No, it was unofficial. I don't want to say exactly which representative I was talking to, but he showed up at a meeting. He said, "We got more than 20 letters." I said, "That's what it takes?" He goes, "Yeah. If we get more than 20 letters." That's how sort of apathetic things are out there. People don't write that much.
Sad.
It is, but it's also good because now we only have to write 20 letters.
Right.
I could write that myself.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll go do that now. All right, so what do we have next? Got to sign on and talk about our sponsors and move on?
We do. Sponsors? Paul, sponsors?
SunTrust Mortgage, CMI Electric, Energy Services Group, MyEcoAgent.com, Option Insurance Group, also Mark Unruh for the great music. By the way, they'll be playing at the expo. And listen to Scott Burney's program on WVUD 91.3. It's also a very green program. Okay, Doug, protect us.
The content of the Great Green Home Show is solely the responsibility of the Environmental Communication Foundation. It does not necessarily reflect the opinion of WILM, its sponsors, or Clear Channel Radio. Any rebroadcast, reproduction of the Great Green Home Show or its contents without written permission from the Green Fox, Paul Hughes, Cletus D. Beaumont, Father Seamus O'Toole, and the Environmental Communication Foundation is strictly prohibited.
And that means don't do it.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. Before we really get going, we have an important announcement again. Doug?
For the third time so far this morning, the Great Green Expo on March 29th in 2008 at the Chase Center on the riverfront.
Okay, so the next...
We don't have a whole lot of time for the...
we can start it and move into it.
You want to start and then move it over?
Sure.
Okay,
sponsored by SunTrust Mortgage of Christiana.
Here are some of the things you need to know about food safety.
Okay, only 1% of imported food is inspected. Let's just leave it at that. I don't even need to explain it. Did you know that?
I don't.
That's not very much inspected food, is it?
No, it isn't. No. And I'm eating a lot more than 1% of food. I know that.
No, and despite new research that shows that artificial hormones may contribute to a 5-fold increase in twin pregnancies for American women, federal government allows them and dairy products that are banned in Canada and Europe to be sold here in the U.S.
So check those dairy products. A lot of hormones in there.
Yeah, I think I picked up some of that stuff on the way in this morning.